Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 8 of the Rock and Roll Beer Guy podcast. This episode is brought to you by Audible. Use our link audibletrial.com/RRBG and get yourself a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook from their selection of over 180,000 different books, including George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones series. Please use our link, audibletrial.com/RRBG, and take advantage of this awesome deal. In this episode, we talk to Brann Dailor, drummer of the band Mastodon. We go in depth about his love of craft beer and the many collaborations that he has done with the band Mastodon and several different breweries. We talk about his time in the band, plus his many television appearances, including Seth Meyers. It was a real pleasure talking to him, and hope you enjoy. Cheers.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing all right, man. Actually, doing better now. Last night I ate some kind of spinach mushroom pizza, and I spent the entire night
Dying.
Yeah, I think I got food poisoning. Not really fun, but feeling better now. I had some
That's good.
bread and such.
You had some bread?
I had some bread and some water.
That's good.
That keeps it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, I just got home from practice.
Oh yeah, you getting ready for the tour?
And we have a South by Southwest gig.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's coming up.
We only play 40 minutes. But we're practicing for the tour that we have coming up. April 14th starts. But yeah.
How long are your sets going to be in that tour?
I don't know. The set that we have up on the board right now that we've been going through is about 2 hours long, but we'll probably get it down to about an hour and a half.
Oh shit!
Because there's always beer to drink backstage, and so I don't want to have to wait 2 hours because I don't drink before I play. So
right.
If I want to have a delicious beer, I have to wait till I'm done. And I don't want to play for 2 hours knowing that all that delicious beer is sitting back there,
or that someone might drink it without you. You know.
Yep. That's right. All
right, I'm gonna do a little intro here. Welcome everyone to the Rock and Roll Beer Guy podcast. I'm here with Brann Dailor of the band Mastodon.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing? How you doing?
You guys have a new album coming out very soon, March 31st. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I just saw, actually, I was looking on the interwebs that you guys have a new video that you're teasing soon as well.
Oh, is that as a teaser out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just a dude underlining a chalkboard that says "Kill Mastodon."
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we got a video coming out on Thursday. I think it comes out on Thursday, something like that.
Nice, man. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
You're about to hit the road. I also saw you guys are doing an in-store at Amoeba Music, which is my local record store.
Oh, you lucky motherfucker. Yeah, we are.
You guys have done stuff with them before, right? Like that thing that they do where they follow you around while you're shopping or something?
Yeah, What's in Your Bag, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Little segment they do where they follow you around. And you pick out records, and you pick out a whole bunch of records, and then you're like, these are what's in my bag. And then they're like, okay, now put those back. If you're gonna buy them, but if you're not, no.
Do they do that themselves?
They usually give you like one or something. But
do they produce that little segment on their own, or is that they bring somebody in for that?
I'm not really sure. I think that's like an in-house thing. They do it with a lot of groups. I've seen a lot of people do that. Interested in what the musicians want to go shopping for. But man, that what a great record store. That place is awesome. I could be in there for days and days. And they got a really great jazz section and classical section and international section. I mean, most of the rock stuff and the alternative rock and all the metal stuff, you can find those in specialty record stores, in most cities, in our city. But they have a really extensive like world music section, which is hard to come by these days. I guess it's out there on the iTunes and on the Spotify's, but if you're a guy like me who's old and needs physical copies for the record player at home, which I think a lot of younger kids are digging the vinyl these days. So
yeah, for sure.
Amoeba definitely has a lot of that crazy, that weird, stuff that you wouldn't normally find in most record stores. Like, so I think some of the selections I had in there were some pop from Iraq, some like 70s or 80s pop from Iraq, which is really cool sounding, because they and like some Egyptian top 40 from the 80s and it's just the whole Middle East, the Arabic scale. I feel like it really lends itself to like poppier music, because it's really dramatic sounding pop music, which is good. I like that. It sounds good to me. And I like their vocal stylings as well. But then they might not have the money to afford like crazy keyboard setups, so they just have whatever they have, and some of the recordings, like the vocals are like distorted and the keyboards they kind of sound cheap a little bit, and I don't know, the combination is just, I think I really like it. I like it. That's my style.
Man, well, maybe I like to tell myself that that's on purpose, the distorted vocals and everything.
Yeah.
You're a big beer geek, am I right? I mean, you know Dave Whitty, so I would say so.
I guess so. Well, Dave and I go back before beer was even invented, I think. We drank pretty terrible beer back when we first met, because we were both teenagers, I believe. So I've known him for quite a while. He's probably one of my oldest friends, that I've kept in contact with over the years, and we've been friends for 20-something years, and maybe almost 30 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, he's one of the nicest dudes I've ever met, man.
Yeah, he's awesome. We met. He was in a band called Human Remains, and I was in a band called Lethargy. And Human Remains played in my basement. I had this basement club called Club Brown, and I used to have parties all the time, and I'd have parties with like 400 people would show up. It was kind of insane. Like the cops used to come during the day and be like, what are you doing? Stop. The whole neighborhood. You're causing a commotion over here. So anyways, we made good friends and had maintained a friendship for a long time. And I think he's definitely one of the people that started to get me into beer. He was really, really into beer. Stouts, as you know, were his bag early on. He'd show up with a cooler. I remember him coming out to like Ozfest or something like 2005, and he'd have a cooler with him, and it'd have like Great Divide, like a Yeti or something, or he'd have just a whole bunch of. He'd have like a Speedway Stout or something. He just set up some cups, and we'd have like a little tasting on the bus, And so from there, really, really for me, the interest in beer started maybe around 1995 or 6 up in Rochester, New York. There was a brewery called Rohrbox, and it was a brew pub, and everybody really looked forward to the time of year when they brewed their Scotch ale, because it was like, really high percentage, really like a 10%, like a big beer, and that was back then, and really there wasn't anything comparable, at the local store, Mm-hmm. There wasn't really a lot of craft beer going on in Rochester. Maybe there was, but I didn't know about it. Just Rohrbox was pretty much the only brew pub. It was near where we all lived, and so we'd get growlers of that. But then Sam Adams came out with a Scotch ale, so that started to be offered at my local grocery store, or my local like little deli that was right near my house. So I painted houses back then, and I'd always have a 6-pack of Scotch ale from Sam Adams in the fridge.
Shit.
And that was kind of my introduction to.
That's a thick beer to be drinking while painting houses.
It is a thick beer. After when I get home from work and I would drink one of those, and thinking about it now, I'm like, damn, dude, like up on a ladder all day in the sun, and like that's like the last thing I would drink now. When I'm out and enjoying the sun, or if I'm working in the sun, like the last thing you want to drink is like a stout or a porter or a Scotch ale or something lighter and fluffier maybe. Sure. Yeah, so I guess that's where it started, digging into that kind of stuff, and then my dad kind of got into it maybe early 2000s, and then Dave Whitty, and so John Adabata, who played guitar in a band called Time's Up, who was like the sister band, the hardcore sister band to Human Remains, but then that's what John Adabata moved to Rochester, and me and him started a band called Nurse Ratchet. And then John ended up having to move back to New Jersey. And when he moved back to New Jersey, he got with Dave Whitty. And they used some of the Nurse Ratchet songs and turned them into Burnt by the Sun songs. And so that was like the beginning of Burnt by the Sun, which was
nice.
One of my favorite bands. And so John Adabata, he also, I remember when we first started Mastodon and we'd play shows with Burnt by the Sun all the time, Adabata would always have he loved all the Belgian stuff, and so he would always have the Belgian beers and everything. And I remember him bringing some Duvel and telling him, oh man, back in '98 or something when we toured Europe with Neurosis, I remember we played in Belgium, and I was sitting up front while Neurosis was playing, and just having a conversation with some people, and this guy was like a fan, started just bringing Duvels over, and I didn't realize they were such high alcohol. It was my first time to Belgium. I didn't really know that much about Belgian beer. It was,
Yeah, Duvel's deceptive because it's light colored and it doesn't really taste that strong either, but it's like 9% or something like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Something.
I drank like 6. They were so good. I was like, this is the most delicious beer I've ever had. I'll have another one, and I'll have another one. And next thing you know, it's Scott Kelly from Neurosis is like having to pick me up and take me out of the club and put me on the bus, put me to bed. So learned my lesson about Belgian beer the hard way.
Nice. What's your favorite style then, if you had one? Because I mean, you've mentioned Scotch ales, you've mentioned Belgians, you've mentioned stouts, but like, what would you say is your favorite?
I really love IPAs. That's 9 times out of 10. That's what I'm craving is like a double IPA or an imperial IPA. Something, piney and a little bit fruity. Not. I'm not really into the super fruity stuff. Mm-hmm. I like some of the more tropical stuff, like when I'm at the beach. If I'm gonna, and I don't like session IPAs. I haven't had one that I really dig.
Okay.
And everyone tells me. I feel like it's like when I moved to the South, and everyone's trying to tell me that they can cook okra so I can eat, so I'll eat it and I'll like it, and it just hasn't happened yet. But people are like, no, you got to try this session. You can't tell. It's like, I can tell. I'll just rather would have a strong IPA that tastes a little bit boozy than have one that tastes kind of weak, to me.
Yeah. So are you more into like the resiny, piney type flavors, or more malty? Because the double IPAs tend to be a little more malty.
I like the malty. I love the Molotov from Evil Twin. I had 2 of those last night. 2.
About your collaboration beers.
Okay.
Is that your doing?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm really the only guy in the band that cares about beer. To that extent. The first beer we did wasn't really a collaboration as much as it was our friend in Germany, in Bamberg. His name is Stefan, and he's one of an 8th generation brewmaster in German from Marsbrau. And it was on 4th of July, and we were playing with Metallica and Anthrax and a few other bands. And I think he felt bad that we were not going to be able to be at home watching fireworks and drinking beer and eating hot dogs. So he brought us like 26 cases of Mastodon Hunter. It was right after the Hunter had come out, so he used that, made the label. You can still get it now. He still makes it, and you can get it. But it's an unfiltered lager, so it's real super drinkable and proper German lager. Not the most exciting beer, obviously, but very drinkable, very summertime. You could have probably 6 or 7 of them and still remember going to bed. But I just remember it was a big hit at our little party there because we had all the guys in Down and Anthrax, and they were just freaking out like, "You guys got your own beer? Holy shit!" So from there, we kind of, I was like, I'd love to do I'd love to collaborate with somebody and do something a little more into the craft beer realm, So we did a black IPA with a brewery called Signature Brewery out of the UK called Black Tongue.
Black Tongue, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And that's good. That's not my favorite style of beer, but I like it, And
it's an interesting style, man, because you get that roastiness behind all the bitterness.
Yeah, that roasty.
Like, you have to be into it.
Yeah, you do. You do. But I like it, And I think that the Black Tongue, as far as black IPAs are concerned, that was a good representation of that, and it was real nutty and roasty and kind of malty and had the right amount of hops in there. I don't know. I thought it was really good. But from there, we then collaborated with Mikkeller, which I was really excited about because I've just been a huge fan ever since. And when I had my first bunch of Mikkellers here in Atlanta, they distribute here through Shelton Brothers, so or they used to at least, and they haven't. I don't know what happened. There was some kind of like falling out, and now we can't get Mikkeller in Atlanta anymore because of some kind of personal squabble, which is fucking bullshit.
Oh, that sucks.
Because it's probably some of my favorite beer, and I feel like one of the most adventurous brewers that's on the scene that's that brewery.
Yeah.
They make all sorts of crazy flavor combinations and just so many different styles. And anyways, we played in Copenhagen, and one of the people that was associated with McKellar got my email or something, and I think it was through Dave probably. So it's a guy named Mixon over there that came out.
Mixon, yeah.
You know Mixon, right? He came out to the show. He brought us 10 cases of beer. It was like pretty awesome. So that was good. Made contact, and I just put it out there. Hey, you guys if you guys ever have any interest in doing a beer, we'd love to do one. So then we decided on a style, and it came out a couple summers ago with the Mother Puncher, which was phenomenal. I thought it really came out awesome. We went to their group pub there, the Three Floyds McKellar barbecue place that they have. We actually brewed we did a collaboration there that I don't know. I poured some hops in and mixed them around. Basically, I helped. Like Brann helped brew this beer. I was like, yeah, I helped like a 4-year-old helps with dinner. I'll let you
stir the pot.
You can stir it. I was like, okay, but obviously I don't live in Copenhagen. I was only there for one day, so we went in there, punished some barbecue, had a bunch of Mother Puncher. It was super super fresh, pretty fruity, but I mean it was perfect summertime beer. So good. I don't know if you've had that one. Have you tried that one?
Yeah, I had it. I was super stoked when I saw it. I used to live in Miami, and I just moved to LA about 11 months ago, and it was just really exciting to see it in Miami because Miami's been it's been finally now getting to the point where there's a lot more selection, but for a long time there was nothing out there.
Yeah.
So being able to find it out there was really cool. I went to this, my friend had a bottle shop down there called Box Elder, and they had it. They were the only place that had it, so I bought a bunch of those, drank a couple there, and then took a couple home.
Yeah, I really like that beer. The Mother Puncher is super delicious and yum a dum dum. And then from there,
you got the Three Floyds one.
Yeah, we started talking to Three Floyds just about, and we had done a coffee with Dark Matter out of Chicago, and I mean I've loved Three Floyds. Zombie Dust is, if you're a hop guy, Zombie Dust is just insane.
It's perfect. It's a great pale, man.
It says, yeah. It's so good. It's incredible. So that's your kind of introduction with Three Floyds, and everything from there out that they've made is just pretty stellar. Unfortunately, just like McKellar, you can't get it here in Atlanta. So.
Well, yeah, you can't really get them anywhere. They don't really distribute out of Chicago.
Yeah. You can get it in Louisville.
Oh, you can?
I found it at a bottle shop in Louisville. I was like, you guys have Three Floyds in Louisville? God damn. But I kind of like that. It builds the mystique of the brand, and it gives me something to look forward to when I'm traveling, because I travel a lot, and we do a lot of touring in Mastodon, and so basically it turns into a beer vacation for me. Every city we go to, I'm like, oh, I gotta get. It turns into a treasure hunt for good beers that are out there. Yeah, so we started talking to this charity called Hope for the Day, and they wanted to do something to collaborate with this charity. It's a suicide prevention and mental health awareness charity. And so we said we'll do a coffee and we'll do a beer, and tie it all into Crack the Sky, which is an album we put out in 2009, and it had to do with my sister's suicide, so that it all kind of tied in together as something that we wanted to be a part of as far as like a charitable cause, and also an opportunity to work with Three Floyds on making this amazing Russian Imperial Stout. And that thing is sick. Have you tried it?
Yeah, it's so funny, dude. I went on a Facebook group that they basically like beer traders and stuff like that. And I just put it out there. I'm like, if anybody could find this, I'll send you money if you ship me a bottle. And this lady up in Illinois, she put like 3 of them in a box and sent them to me. She didn't even want anything in return. She was just like, here you go. And
awesome.
I still sent her beer bag. I mean, obviously, but yeah. But it was really, really tasty, man. It reminded me of where I was working before in Florida. I was working with Cigar City Brewing.
Oh yeah.
And they have a stout called Zukov, and it was like,
I love Zukov. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the only beer that I've had that even compares to Zukov, and it's almost better. So yeah. Actually, it is better because it has coffee. Zukov doesn't have coffee.
Yeah, if you like coffee, it's a coffee bomb, really, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what it turns into after get a couple years on it. So I got a few bottles of it sitting in my basement.
Yeah, I have one. I drank 2 of them and put one away.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll drink this later.
Yeah.
I just did, actually, since we were talking about Cigar City, April, I think like 15th or something. I did a collaboration there with Killswitch Engage with Adam.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you know Adam, but
I know Adam very well. Yeah, but I didn't. Is he a beer nerd?
oh yeah, man, big beer geek. Every time he's home, we go out and brewery hop, and he lives in San Diego now, so it's really easy to.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh, that fucker.
He left Boston or Massachusetts, not Boston, but
right. I know. Yeah. No, we toured together with Slayer back in '04, I think. We had put out Leviathan, and they had put out whatever that record was. But yeah, I didn't know him to be. He just liked to drink Corona back then.
Well, yeah, he'll still throw down a Corona if it's around, but I know that he's definitely gotten more and more involved. And I ran into him at Cigar City when I was out there, and we talked about it. And yeah, it's been like 2 years in the making, but that beer's finally coming out.
Oh, when's it come out?
April 15th.
Oh, it comes out this April 15th.
Yeah. They're doing a show in Orlando to kind of do like the launch of the beer.
That rules. I'm going to be down there in a couple weeks. I'm going to be down there next week.
Down in Orlando?
Well, I'll be there in Orlando, but I'll be closer to Cigar City. I'll be in like St. Pete-ish area.
Very cool.
Yeah. All my friends are down there right now. I got a whole bunch of my neighbors are down there in Tampa right now doing the Cigar City thing. Tampa Beer Week.
Yeah, Hunahpu. This is actually the first year I've missed it since 2013, man. I was kind of bummed out.
I've never been to the Hunahpu thing, and I really wanted to go this year, and we were going to, because my birthday's on Sunday, and my wife was like, okay, we'll go down there, we'll do that, and that'll be your birthday present. And then we got this offer to do South by Southwest, and everybody in my band said yes, and so I got kind of screwed out of which I know it'll be important, we'll do a bunch of press, and it'll be good for the band, but I was really... This is going to be my birthday present, like I'm going to go down there for Tampa Beer Week, and cause my wife is from Florida. She's from Orlando.
Oh, nice.
But anyways, my neighbor's bringing me back a couple of bottles, so I'll be fine. It's going to be all right.
Hunahpu Day is actually kind of a shit show, like the actual day of the festival, but all the stuff that happens during the week is awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a brewery that's like your dream collaborate? Like if you wanted to make a beer with them, what would be your dream collaboration outside of the ones you've done, of course?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Three Floyds and McKellar are kind of like that's for me. That's like the
pinnacle.
I don't know. Sort of, yeah. I wouldn't mind doing something with Alpine, which is out in your neck of the woods, right?
Yep.
There's so many great brewers around right now,
Oh yeah, especially out here in the West Coast.
Yeah, I can't even keep up with it. I mean, there's a new one every week, but that's doing new and exciting stuff. I mean, I think Gigantic would be cool.
They make some killer labels.
They do, yeah. They got a lot of art, kind of art-minded. They go for. I know that Tara McPherson and some people that we've used for art that we're friends with have done labels for them. I think maybe Skinner did one. Yeah, Skinner did one because he's drank some of it at his house over there in Oakland.
Very nice.
I think Evil Twin would be cool.
Yeah, Evil Twin
is good. Cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're kind of a. Did they open up already? I know that they're a gypsy brewer, so they don't have a spot.
Yeah, well, same with McKellar,
Yeah. Well, now they have spots. I mean,
they have
just
spots. Yeah.
Up,
San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
Which I think we might do something with them surrounding the new album. Do a beer with them around that.
That'd be cool.
It sure would be. More awesome beer.
So you did mention you have a cellar, right?
Yeah, I got about 120 bottles, 120 special occasions sitting down there waiting to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I have to keep taking stuff out. Whenever I go to a concert, I have to grab and fill up the cooler because it just gets ridiculous. At one point, I had like 400 bottles, and I'm like, dude, half of these are going to go bad.
Yeah.
I need to drink these,
It's pretty much all stouts down there. It's all stouts.
Yeah, I was going to say, it has to be stouts or sours. Otherwise, anything hoppy is dead by now.
It's stouts and sours. I got a bunch of Cascades sitting down there, and I got a bunch of sour stuff. I got a bunch of Wicked Weed. I would love to do something with them, and I'd love to do something with a local Georgia brewer. I love Orpheus, and I love Creature Comforts. Those two.
Yeah, Creature Comforts is great.
Creature Comforts is awesome. Orpheus is amazing. I think they got their Transmigration of Souls double IPAs. Fantastic. So good. Then there's Monday night. Monday night out of here as well. It's really good. And Three Taverns is awesome. I mean, there's so much good beer everywhere. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna be such a fucking alcoholic. You gotta give your liver. Do you give yourself breaks? Like, you ever felt any pain anywhere?
Occasionally. Usually Tampa Bay Beer Week, or if I go to Denver for Great American Beer Fest or something, by the end of it, I'm hurting.
Like your actual liver hurts. You're like, that's my liver. Oh my God.
Yeah, I could feel it.
I'm coming around the corner with some fucking cirrhosis. I need to knock it off. You gotta give a whole. I did all. I think a lot of people do the dry January. I did that. That was nice. But because there's so many delicious beers sitting in my refrigerator just as we speak, so it's like hard at nighttime when I'm, about to go to bed, and I don't have a real job. You know what I mean? I had to be at practice at noon or 1 today, so. I had 2 Molotov cocktails last night. It's fucked up. No, but it's not that bad. It's good. It's a good thing.
I know Georgia has some really weird, strict rules on their tasting rooms and stuff. Like, that really threw me off. I went out there for Wrecking Ball, and I went to Orpheus, and I did a little tour of the brewery, and They were just telling me, they were like, yeah, you need to do the tour in order for us to give you a souvenir ticket that you can claim for a taster or something, but like they can't sell you directly a beer.
Yeah, they're with the liquor distributors and all that, they're in the dark ages basically.
That's so weird.
They're in the dark ages with the beer thing, and hopefully, every year is a new battle to try to get some of those laws so that you can cash carry from brewery so that they can stay open,
For sure, and it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's not like everybody else isn't doing it already, every other state.
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, it's just, you can still smoke cigarettes in bars in Atlanta, you know what I mean? We're way behind.
That is weird.
You walk into a bar, it's just like fucking people smoking cigarettes like they're not making them tomorrow. It's like, whoa. Like the rest of the country is not doing this. People, come on.
Yeah, for sure. It's just, to me, it's disgusting. I used to smoke when I was a teenager, but now, walking into a place and I smell cigarettes, it's kind of disgusting,
Super gross. I'm sad that I smoked for as long as I did, but I was one of those guys, you get a couple beers in me and I'd be like, bum a cigarette, but I've stopped all that. I got to sing like a pretty bird.
Well, yeah, that's right. You do sing quite well, sir. Just if I could say so myself.
Thanks. I try my hardest.
You're insane, because honestly, I don't even know how you do that at the same time. Like, I used to sing in a band for 10 years, and it was it was enough to do. And you're drumming, which I can't. I could do a simple beat here and there, but I can't play a song.
Yeah.
And you're playing crazy rolls and things like that while also singing. Like, that takes a lot.
Yeah, I try like I said, I try hard. I usually get it pretty close. It just depends. If I'm on tour and I get sick, oh man, I'm screwed. Oh. Which pretty much happens every tour. Someone gets the funk and just passes it around, and you're just like, oh well, that's gonna be about a week of really bad singing. Okay, here we go. But
yeah, being on the road is very you're susceptible to all those. Everybody gets sick, and you're in a tight confines of a bus or something.
Yeah, and you don't sleep how you normally sleep. It's intermittent sleep, which is just not good for you at all. So it's just kind of, you never think, you don't even as long as I've been on tour, I still just don't even think about that stuff while I'm home and we're at practice. Everything sounds awesome. Everything, I'm just, because I've slept 8 hours every night, and everything's all good, and go to practice and play and singing great, and then leave for tour. And that first night on the bus, it's like, I sleep terrible, get up, had 3 hours of sleep. I got to do an interview, go to sound check. My pipes are not awesome because I haven't slept, and it just snowballs from there. And then you're out there for like a month and a half, and you're like, it just doesn't get any better. But you figure out how to make it work.
Shit, yeah, man. How familiar are you with the process of actual brewing beer?
Not super familiar. I haven't really. I mean, I've been present for a few sessions, but not, I don't really know that much about it.
You haven't done a home brew or anything like that?
No, I haven't gone that deep into it.
Do you think that's something you might do after, you decide that you cannot rock and roll as long as you want?
Yeah, maybe. I think if I was home more often, I would probably do something like that. But I'm gone so much that I just don't feel like I can't be as attentive to it.
For sure.
Yeah. So it's something I would love to be able to do, but it's I'm not home enough to do that.
Well, I think maybe once you and Dave Whitty kind of like realize you can't be on the road as much anymore, you should both open up a brewery. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to open a brewery with Mr. Whitty. That'd be awesome. Yes. That'd be cool.
Stout Mania and Cream Ale.
Yeah, man. And Westside Cricker, John Adabata, nice. He makes great beer.
Nice.
I had one of his raspberry stouts. They're really awesome.
Raspberry stout. Oh, Cigar City just released a raspberry stout too.
Oh yeah.
Halo something.
I haven't had that, but the Hardywood one is really good.
Oh yeah. Hardywood kills it, man.
Yeah, so good. Oh. Barley wine. Their barley wine is so fucking amazing.
Have you had their Kentucky Christmas Morning?
No, I haven't had that. Is it ridiculous?
It's a whiskey barrel aged. It's basically whiskey barrel aged gingerbread stout that they make.
Oh my god!
But it's so good.
Oh no, I have had that. I've had
that. Cigar City sent me out there because we did a collaboration at that time with Hardywood. We did a Milkmaid and a Milkman.
Yeah.
And we partied out there. It was the first time I've ever passed out at a festival. Like I was walking around. I'm like, I need to lay down. And one of the dudes, Chris, he was like, hey, yeah, come to the office. And we went to the office and just passed out on the couch while there was this beer festival outside.
Did anybody draw a dick on your forehead?
Oh, no. Not at that time, but...
Yay, you won.
Yeah, right. I have had that happen before, man. I used to do stage production work a long time ago, and we had a party at my house, passed out. They drew dicks all over my face. They drew swastika on my forehead, and like... I love Saddam Hussein on my arm, and then one of them actually colored in my foot to make it look like I was wearing a shoe.
Yeah, that's inventive. I like that one.
What happened was that I had to go. I passed out, and then when I woke up, it was time for work, so I had to go to work, and I didn't even wash my face or anything. I just kind of put my shoes on and headed out. And when I got to the fucking job and realized I'm covered in swastikas and dicks, I was like, oh.
That's terrible. Oh, well.
Yeah, who cares? I'm glad I don't do that job anymore. It was a good job. It was fun to do stage production and hang out at shows, like big shows, but it's just so damn dangerous. Many injuries.
Yeah. It's a good way to pass away.
Yeah, for sure. I put a note here. Here about you're making appearances on Seth Meyers. How'd you get that gig?
Yeah, I'm famous. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I've been on TV. Every red hot blooded American's dream is to be on the television. I've been on there multiple times.
On the moving pictures.
Yay. Let's see.
Is that show in Atlanta, or are you flying in?
No, it's in New York.
Okay.
They shoot they film in the it's at NBC, so it's over there at 30 Rock. It's on the same floor as Saturday Night Live. So the guy, my buddy Eric is one of the producers over there, and he's big into drums and schnauzers, but mostly drums or mostly schnauzers. I'm not sure which he favors. But so Fred Armisen is the drummer normally, and Fred is gone all the time doing his other various projects, comedic projects, such as Portlandia and Documentary Now, and so on and so forth. So in his stead, they got like fill-in drummers. I remember the first person I saw on there was my buddy John Theodore from Queens, and he was on there. I was like, oh, John's on TV. What's going on? This is amazing, So I texted him like, hey man, I saw you on TV. Holy shit, it's amazing. And he texted me back, yeah, it's cool, blah blah blah. He hooked me up with the producer guy, and so we went back and forth, and he said, "You want to do the show?" I said, "Yeah, sure," and went up there and did it. And I loved it. It was really fun. It was totally different from being Mastodon and everything. And television it's just a different thing. You have to. It's a lot simpler on the drumming side, but it's more difficult because you have to be really attentive and you have to really pay attention to multiple people, and
with the cues and all that,
the cues and stuff, and you have to play people on, and they sit in the chair, and you got to stop on the right spot, and so there's a couple tricks to it, but it's really fun. The people are awesome. They're super, super welcoming and happy that you're there, and they're just really fun to work with. And so I went back for a second time recently, a few weeks ago, and I had a blast. It's really fun. I love doing it. I hope to go back again sometime, just because I really like the people in the band, and I like the makeup and hair ladies and the people that run the show, and Seth himself, and just everybody there is really cool. And it's fun to be in New York for a week, and because I went to high school there, and so it's cool to be there for a week and play some drums and promote some Mastodon.
The ladies did your coif? Did they coif you up?
Yeah, they coiffed me up. They got my coif up and running, and making sure I looked pretty for the camera, and put powder on my face, and I just crack jokes in there. It's fun. It's a good time.
Well, yeah, I saw a little clip that somebody posted somewhere of you calling him a bitch, and I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I got to do a skit. Yeah, the writer came in, and he's like, "You want to be in a skit?" And I was like, "Hell yeah. Come on now." "What is it?" "You got to call Seth Meyers a bitch." I was like, "Okay."
Done.
I told him before, I was like, "Don't be mad, don't." I was like, "You're not a grudge holder, are you?" He said he wasn't. No, he was totally, he understands. He understood, It was my words. Those aren't my words. I would never do that. I would never say that. I talked to my mom the day after. She's like, "I told all my friends to tune in and watch, and then you said a bad word." I'm like, "A bad word?" "You could say that word on TV. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not bad.
It's not
It's been decided that that's not a bad word. That's one of the words you can say. The FCC said it's fine.
I'm starting to think the word shit is acceptable now too, because I keep watching shows that they're just going at it, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's okay too.
Well, if you just start saying them and they're not perceived as being bad words anymore, then it's not a bad word. It goes away.
Yeah, right. You're just giving it power that it doesn't need.
Yeah.
Do you have any prized possessions? Any kind of an autographed record or a prop? For example, a prop from Game of Thrones that you were also on.
I don't have anything from Game of Thrones. They didn't give me anything. I wasn't able to keep any of my clothes from that.
That sucks. They should have, they fitted it for you.
No, they let us make a Mastodon shirt in the Game of Thrones font and have a White Walker on it. That was pretty badass. Thank you, HBO.
Nice.
We wrote a song for them, and we got to put out a picture disc with that. So that was, I feel like we did, when it comes to the bands that have contributed songs and done stuff for Game of Thrones, we've worked together with Game of Thrones more than any other group has, as far as promoting the show on our end and them promoting our band on their end, and as far as them letting us, HBO is HBO. They're a huge, they don't have to do that. They don't need that from us, but they're cool, and they let us do that, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Prized possessions, I'd say, I have Peace of Mind, Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind, signed by all of Iron Maiden, and it's the first record that I bought with my own money.
Oh, that's awesome.
When I was 7 years old, I walked my little 7-year-old self to the record Record Archive in Rochester, New York, and Peace of Mind had just come out, so I bought it. It cost me $8, and then many years later, got to be on tour with Iron Maiden, and I had that very record signed by the whole band.
That's pretty awesome.
Even Yannick. So there's that, and then I have a Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance, which was one of my favorites as a kid as well. My mom's band used to do a couple of songs off of that, and it just used to blast at my house all the time. We had a huge Screaming for Vengeance sticker on the dashboard of my mom's station wagon, and we were a Judas Priest household. We were a Judas Priest first household. Always had Priest on on the stereo, cranking, and it was like probably I think it was my second concert was Judas Priest.
That's awesome.
And we got to tour with them last year, and so I had them sign my record. So that's another prized possession. I'd say those were my two biggest and most favorite bands, metal bands when I was a kid, and bands overall, just when I was a kid, Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, and I got to tour with both of them. And so I did the fan thing, and I got my stuff signed by them.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
So I'd say that those are two of my prized possessions. I'm sure I have more things that I love. I have a velvet painting of Jean-Benet Ramsey that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
That I'll try to jump up there and grab it if the house was on fire, because it's pretty creepy.
It seems like you have an obsession with clowns too. I was looking through your Instagram, looking at your beer pictures, and every once in a while a clown pops up.
Right.
Do you have any clown possessions?
I have a clown room.
You have a clown room
In my house. Yeah, it's in my Instagram pictures. There's a couple pictures of it, of the clown room. Yeah, I mean, I make people stay in there. It's a guest room, and it's loaded with clowns. But not creepy clowns, Well, I guess there's three. I have
they're all creepy.
The clowns from outer space are in there, but
Oh, nice.
that's from a movie, so it doesn't count. And I have a little painting by the artist Chet Zar that he did, that Skinner got for me, of Pennywise. So you got that in there. So that's a little bit creepy. Then you got Bozo right in the door, big Blummold Bozo. And there's a huge clown. There's just clowns all over the place in there.
So where does that come from? I mean, I don't like clowns. Not that I don't like them. It's just when I was very little, my family took me to Cirque du Soleil, and this was back in the day when they were allowed to do stuff like this, but like they took me from the audience.
Uh-huh.
And took me to the stage just to kind of but they turned the lights off, and I was tiny, and I freaked out because I was being abducted by by clown aliens.
Clowns. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I always liked clowns. I don't feel like I was ever afraid of them, but I was attracted to their colors and just their wacky, they made me happy. I was excited to see them. That was what I looked forward to the most about going to the circus, were the clowns, and try to get a picture taken with the clowns. This is back in the 70s. Lou Jacobs, like the Ringling Brothers clown, like one of the most recognizable, him, Emmett Kelly, Bozo are probably the three. Lou Jacobs is he's like, if you see a clown, that's the guy. And then my grandfather was a Shriner, and we would go to the Shrine Circus, and so he had basically he had backstage passes. You get to go back and see the clowns putting their makeup on and see everything kind of coming together. And so that really, I think, was born in me, the real fascination with clowns. And just the way they look, and then there's a part of me, like the reason I have the Jean-Benet velvet painting. I'm sort of fascinated with the fact that they do scare people, just their being scares people, not necessarily going for the creepy ones, that are creepy on purpose. I like the regular clowns, I think that scares people, and so I like to have a clown room, and I'm not trying to scare anybody really, but there's a part of me that understands that scares people, and there's something about that I enjoy. I guess there's a little bit of a sadist in me or something, that enjoys bringing someone upstairs and being like, "Here's your bed," and go to sleep, and there's a clown chandelier in there, and there's clowns everywhere, and
oh boy,
I don't know, there's something about it that. Something dark that lives inside of me that wants to make people upset and uncomfortable. Yeah. There's some, I would like to deny that maybe, but it's just, there's definitely a button pusher in me, not as far as a lot of people would go that are button pushers and habitual, that kind of fuck with people, I love Andy Kaufman. I love that style of comedy, and I really like just kind of going really far with a joke, and I don't know. I like having a clown room. It's up there. You can come visit it next time you're in town.
Sure. I have a buddy of mine that works for Atlanta Backline.
Okay.
My buddy Nick lives out there, and we've been trying to plan another trip because we all took a trip out there for Wrecking Ball, which was fun. But
Yeah.
I think the next trip is Denver. We're going to the Red Rocks to go see Gojira and Opeth.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And,
awesome.
Yeah, I've never been to the Red Rocks, so I saw that opportunity.
We played there a couple times. We played there with Alice in Chains, and we played there with Clutch.
Nice.
So that was
nice,
cool.
Nice. That's pretty cool. What's up with your gangster ass gold tooth?
Oh, there's nothing gangster about it. It's silver, and I was getting something. It's probably like 2001 maybe, and I was getting something out of the ceiling at my work at my job, and this metal pipe came down and hit me right above the tooth there. So I had to go to the dentist, and what ended up happening was it basically killed my tooth.
Oh, damn.
So my tooth started to turn like dark gray. So they were like, yeah, we got to yank that thing out. And they're like, but we'll give you a porcelain tooth. It'll look just like all your teeth, And I saw I know what that looks like,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it always looks off or weird, or, like you can, I mean, no one's paying that much attention to your teeth, but I feel like it doesn't look enough like your rest of your teeth. It looks like you're trying to fool people is what it looks like.
Yeah, you got a chiclet in there.
Porcelain tooth up front, you're like, nothing, no, everything's cool. These are my teeth. It's not your teeth. I see that one right there. It sticks out like a sore thumb, so I might as well just, here, this is a fake tooth. So I got a silver tooth. It took me forever to convince my dentist to put it in. She was like, totally, are you kidding me? What? Why do you want to do that to yourself? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, Pirates of the Caribbean had just come out. Everybody was all excited about Johnny Depp. He had a silver tooth right up front. I was like, to me, it seems like the way to go, really. So she begrudgingly put the silver tooth in there. I don't think anything of it, but she always, I tell everybody about you. It's my silver tooth, man. I just tell everybody about you. I say, you won't believe. I don't think she gets out much, really. That must be it. It's really like, she thinks that this is just like, this is like that book Modern Primitives or something. Like, I'm just way out. I might as well have a fucking plate in my lip and be hanging from a tree somewhere by my nipples. Like, that's how insane this silver tooth is. And I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. It's like, people. This is more the norm than porcelain teeth. Like there's way more examples of people with silver teeth and gold teeth all in their mouth rather than porcelain teeth. You know what I mean? For
sure.
Hundreds of years, people have been putting silver and gold teeth in their heads.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It definitely adds personality. Yeah, man. I had all the ones in the back of the molars. They were all silver capped for a while because of just terrible dental hygiene. But,
yeah, same. I got terrible teeth. I got dealt kind of a raw deal with the teeth, and then I neglected them for years. I was, I had bad teeth. I've turned the frown upside down 100%. My mouth is, I don't have any problem back there. I don't have any cavities. I'm good. So in case you were wondering, my teeth, my liver, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. My teeth, we're all good.
No, I've always, I noticed that tooth, and I was always like, man, I wonder if it's just because he's like super gangster.
No, I'm not gangster at all. I will. If we're talking about fight or flight, I'm flight all the way. I'm out of there. See ya. I don't want to die.
Oh man. What else? Oh, how was it like working with the Adult Swim people? I'm actually I'm pretty good friends with Dana Snyder, Master Shake.
Oh yeah, I've met him a couple times. Yeah, it's great. It's cool. We have a lot of friends that work for Adult Swim and Cartoon Network being here in Atlanta, and
that makes more sense. Yes, I forgot.
So I remember somewhere around Blood Mountain-ish era, Mastodon. We were just at practice during the day, and I got a phone call, and it was at the height of popularity of what do you call it, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and so I just got a call, and it was Dave Willis from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and he's just on the phone like, hey, I got your number from so and so. I was wondering from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and we had like all the, this is back when you had to buy a DVD set. So we had all the DVDs on the bus, like in Europe, and we would watch Aqua Teen like nonstop. We're fanatics of the show, because it was perfect for our lifestyle back then. And so to get this phone call, I was like, shut up. It's Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's the guy from Aqua Teen Hunger Force,
Yeah.
It's the voice of, I'm on the phone with the voice of Meatwad and Carl right now. So they said, hey, we're making a movie. We're looking for a song, and I'm going to email you the lyrics, and then you see what you guys can come up with and write a song around this and da-da-da. So, and I remember it was a Friday, and I said, when you need it by, and he said, Monday if possible. I was like, Jesus. So wow. I remember Bill and I went down on Sunday, and we just wrote like a thrash metal song to go. And I was like, you guys got way too many lyrics. I had so many lyrics. It was like, they're like, we need it to be like a minute long, And I was like, well, you have so many lyrics. So we figured it out. We pared it down and got it to the essential lyrics, and we wrote music, and we went in there and just kind of blasted through it and did it, And it came out really funny.
Yeah, that was awesome. And
yeah,
I remember going to the theater to see it, and I didn't know that was in the movie at all. I just remember sitting in the theater and seeing the intro, and I'm like, man, this is fucking amazing. What is this? And then realizing it was Mastodon, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we've gotten lucky in that capacity. I don't know why. We've gotten really lucky with all that kind of stuff,
For sure.
Like with Game of Thrones and just really cool stuff. I don't know. Our band has been like featured in a bunch of things that are like that, kind of outside the norm. That lots of bands don't get those kind of opportunities. I don't know why we do, but I'll take it.
Well, yeah, you'll definitely paid your dues, man. I mean, I remember watching. I went to a Mastodon show in Florida, at the Culture Room. It was a tiny, tiny venue.
Oh, and was that in Tampa? Or no, wait.
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah, that place, yeah.
It was with Converge, and I remember just I really liked you guys' music, and Converge, obviously, and kind of like overnight, really, for me. I know it probably wasn't that way for you guys, but like overnight, I see that you guys are playing like arenas and shit, and then I looked into it, and I'm like, well, these dudes, they've been going at it for a long time. Like, they deserve that,
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if we deserve anything, but we certainly put ourselves out there as much as we possibly could, and we did the work. So, but it's good work, and it's fun to play. And I mean, you're away from your family, and sometimes it sucks. But we always say it beats digging a ditch, which is what we'd probably be doing if Mastodon hadn't have worked out. But I don't know. The universe smiled upon us, and we did a lot of work, but also right time, right place. There's a lot of factors that go into all this kind of thing. You're kind of relying on people's taste in music and art. Is like there's no guarantee on any of this at all, and it could go away at an instant, So, thank my lucky stars.
No, it is crazy how you mentioned that the scope of the music industry changes very dramatically. Like you guys, like you said, right time, right place. Because maybe Blood Mountain comes out now and it isn't the hit that it was back then,
Yeah, for sure.
Just because of the timing or whatever people are into at that time. So
who knows? It's a mystery as to why people like what they like when they like it. I always like I might not like something now, and then 5 years from now I'll go listen to it again and I like it now.
Yeah.
Well, that album is the same music that was there 5 years ago that I didn't like.
Yeah, it's your taste that's changed.
What I'm saying is the problem is me.
Well, we've been doing this for about an hour.
Okay.
I know you're busy. You're a busy man. I don't want to take more of your time.
I got to throw the ball around the yard for the dog. He's going to freak out. I got a Dalmatian, and they're high strung. They need to be worked. They're work dogs. I don't have any horses for him to run with, so it has to be me.
To corral.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So yeah, you guys are playing here twice actually. You're doing the Amoeba thing, and then you're gonna come and play during that tour. Actually, on 420.
Oh, 420, bro.
Bro.
I'm not really a weed guy, so I don't know, but I like when the beer smells kind of like weed. I like that.
Well, 420 is also Hitler's birthday.
Yeah, that's what we're celebrating, right?
Right, yes.
With that community, it's like, Hitler, at least he killed Hitler. So, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
right.
that.
Do you know if you're going to have any time while you're here for the Amoeba thing to drink? Or is that like a come in, play the thing, and fly away?
We're there for a few days. We're doing Jimmy Kimmel as well. So
Oh, nice.
I think we're doing that. I'm not 100% on that. I think we're doing the Amoeba thing. We're going to be there for a few days, so yeah, we'll probably have some time.
Yeah, well, let me know, man. I'd love to hook up and show you at some of the local breweries in LA and drink some IPA with you.
Man, I was there for 3 weeks recording this record. I really didn't have much when I was there. God damn it.
Yeah, you guys recorded it out here? I didn't know that. I thought
We did half of it out there at Henson Studios.
Ah, okay.
We were right in Hollywood,
Cool, man. Well, we'll connect. I'll send you my number, and
okay.
When you're in town, we can hook up, and I'll take you to some of the breweries and stuff.
Sounds good.
Anything else you want to plug? Lethargy reunions?
Yeah, Lethargy reunion's coming up.
Cool.
No, not really.
Cool. Just pick up the album.
Yeah, pick up the Lethargy album. It's on Spotify. It's on Spotify. You can hear Lethargy on Spotify.
Nice.
You can hear my teenage years unfold. It was pretty wacky back then. Pretty wacky. It was the 1990s. Technical death metal mixed with Mr. Bungle.
Yeah, dude. I watched a video of it, and like back in that time period, there wasn't a lot of that going on. What you guys were doing, and the crowd just seemed confused.
Oh yeah, that was our deal. We were just like showing a dog a card trick for the whole show. But we had a pretty decent following in Rochester, where we're from. Rochester is far enough away from any kind of like major city to have anybody in the city that's actually trying to quote unquote make it. So what happens is like a lot of like small towns, you get this real little pocket of really interesting musicians that are writing some really vital and cool music that just doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just really out there on a limb, just kind of floating in space, because no one has their eyes on any kind of prize. They're not like, oh, we're going to make it, we're going to be rock stars. They're just like, I don't know, I'm just writing this weird music. It doesn't matter. No one cares. So we'll just make it as weird as we possibly can. So that's kind of what Lethargy was, It was, and there was a whole bunch of bands that were from that area at that point in time. We had a really thriving scene in the 90s, and there was all sorts of weird bands that we all inspired each other to kind of reach a little bit further into the weirdness, into the twilight zone of music, For sure. It was fun to be a part of, and I still kind of have a deep admiration and kinship with that part of my life and some of the bands that were around during that time period. So it's worth looking into, is what I'm saying.
For sure, man. I hadn't heard it before, and then I went back and listened to it. I was trying to think of things to talk to you about on the episode. I was actually very impressed, man. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We tried to never repeat a riff.
I noticed that, yeah.
We're going to write 50 riffs and just play them all twice. You get them big, juicy, hardcore riffs and play it twice and totally bum everyone out. Oh, man, I was going to fucking slam this dude in the head to that riff. They're already on to the next thing. That was fun.
One last thing I have.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have a Punisher story that sticks out in your mind? Not the comic book,
No, I know. I know what you mean. Yeah, Punishers. They're out there, and I don't think they know who they are, which is sad. Which I hope I've never punished anybody. I don't think I have anything that wouldn't be embarrassing for somebody. You know what I mean? Oh man, sometimes they get you. I don't think I have anything that's salacious enough, to really to give you.
Yeah, I mean, I that's my life's goal usually is to not be a punisher.
Yeah, same.
And it's hard when you're confronted with, like, for example, you with Iron Maiden and Priest. I can imagine it was cool because you guys are already on tour, so you have a leg up there, but at the same time, it's like, I want them to sign this. How do I ask?
Ask the wardrobe person to get it signed for you. That's what you do.
That's the trick.
Oh, I punished the hell out of Dave Murray, man. Me and him went out drinking one night, and I just fucking let him have it. Oh, my God. the table we were sitting at, this tiny little bar in Oslo, Norway, was just filled up with pints of beer. Every single person in the whole place wanted to buy Dave Murray a beer, and I wouldn't let him drink any of them because I just had his fucking ear I just like bending it in half, telling them about all my Iron Maiden posters, and I like this song, and this is, you do this on guitar is awesome, and da, 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 da. And he just smiled and took it. So I got nothing but admiration for that man. So cool. Yeah, my Punisher story is about me punishing Dave Murray.
Well, that works. That works. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone punishing you. That'll work for me.
I'm pretty good at taking a punishing too. I think I try not to look at it like that. Like I try to know. I know that the fan is going to be hopefully really excited to see me. And want to tell me all about their experience with our music. And I'm more than willing to sit there and get my ear bent in half by anybody. And if I feel like I need to walk away, I just will. But yeah, obviously there's been some times where, hey man, I gotta go, But
the bus is leaving. The bus is leaving. I gotta go.
I love you. I know you love me. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your patronage, and But I never want to bum anybody out or piss anybody off, or So I always try to just hear what everyone wants to say. If they have something important that they need to get off their chest, they want to tell me something about a song that means a lot to them that I had something to do with, then I'm all ears.
Well, now that you say that, I have this. No, I'm kidding.
Shit, dude, I gotta go.
Shit. Yeah, right. Cool, man. Well, it was great talking to you. Thank you for doing this. I know you're busy as hell, and you got a bunch of stuff coming up. But like I said, let's try and hook up when you're in LA. I'll take you to some breweries. I'll punish you once we get a few IPAs in us.
Awesome. Sounds
right,
good, man.
Talk to you later.
All right, man.
Cheers.
Cheers. See ya.